So I'm going to finish the story just for a moment here before I get into what I thought the Spirit gave me. The rest of the story is, the first accident was not my fault. The second one was. But while I was waiting on the side of the road, when I ran through that red light that I thought was green, I hit a 2002 Tahoe, white one. And on the other side, because Martin Luther King is one way and there was 2 lanes there, the other side of the white Tahoe was a black unmarked police car. So the Tahoe hit the police car. And so the police got out of the car, we all got out, we said everybody's all right, everybody's healthy, we don't need to call the ambulance. He said, I need your license, your insurance, and your registration. I gave it to him. He went back over by his car and got on the radio and called in. He came back over and he said, because I was involved in the accident, I can't work this accident. I was going to work it, but I can't. We got to get somebody else to come work the accident. So we standing around there talking and chit-chatting, and everybody's healthy, everybody's doing good. Let me tell you why it's important to be faithful and consistent.
All right.
In 1995, the Lord blessed me to buy a car that I had been looking at for 5 years. For 5 years, starting in 1990, when Toyota introduced the Lexus into the United States, I started looking at the Lexus car and researching it and looking at it and saying, one of these days I'm going to get one. I would go to dealerships and they say, you want to drive it? I say, no, I'm not ready yet. Every time we went on vacation, because there's no Lexus dealer in Pensacola, we go on vacation, we would run by the Lexus dealer. I'd look at them, see what kind of improvement they made. You want to drive one? No, I'm not ready yet. But I told the Lord, if when He was ready, He could give me give me the desires of my heart. Because I felt that was the car that was quality, a quality car. In 1995, I bought a 1995 Lexus LS 400. That car costs almost as much as houses. That's not a brag. I'm just telling you how the Lord provides. I still have that car. It's still running. In 2013, I took the tag off that car and put it on the one that was totaled. When I bought that car in 1995, I got a vanity plate. The vanity plate says God's Lex. We standing around there talking to the young man, the man that I hit in the white Tahoe. He said, I like your tag. I said, I like it too. That's why I pay extra to have it. So that tag has caused people to ask me and allow me to be a witness to people time and time again. I can't tell you how many speeding tickets that I've gotten out of because the officer said I can't give God's car. It pays to serve the Lord. I'm telling you now, it pays. One Christmas we were going to Dayton, Ohio to visit my granddaughter. Everybody else in the car was asleep. I was driving faster than the law allows. 2 o'clock in the morning, the cop pulls off he comes off the ramp and catches me. Turns his light on. I wait till we get to a safe place to pull off. I pull off. I got my gospel music playing, and I rolled down the window. I handed my license and everything. He comes back and he said, Will you promise me you'll slow down if I don't give God's car a ticket? I said, I can assure you I'll slow down. That's just one of the hundreds of times that I've gotten away with that. The rest of the story is this. On Thursday, the car is total. I know it's total. I'm not concerned about it. Because God gave it, God take it away. I'm not concerned about that. That car was not an idol to me, I can tell you that for sure. That officer couldn't work it, so he had to have another officer come work the wreck. A young man, a rookie, came with a sergeant on the other side. They came to the scene, and they're working the wreck. And the young man is, I could tell he was young. I definitely was new, and he was asking questions and talking and all that kind of stuff. I gave him all the same information I gave the first round. He gets in the car and he types everything up on the computer, and the computer sends out a report. He comes back over and he says, "Your airbag deployed in that car?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, God blessed you." I said, "I know that. I know it was his blessing, no doubt." He goes over the thing. I said, "Man, I got a report like that on Friday when I got in the last rig. I got a report like that." He said, "I got to go over with you anyway. This and this and this." He goes through the report. By that time, my daughter Candace my wife has already come back to the church, got boxes. We unloaded the trunk of my car, unloaded the back seat of my car, put it in boxes. And Candace is not sitting far, is working to get things out of my car while I'm talking to the officer. And when he gets through going over all the stuff, like I say, he's a rookie. He's going over all the stuff and trying to hit all the points. He says, "I just learned this last week." He says, "Because this accident involved another officer, I cannot give you a ticket." I told my daughter, "Hold my mule clock in the shower." I was dancing all up and down Martin Luther King Street. Because while he was coming, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get me a ticket. I'm going to pay some bill. I'm going to pay somebody. Plus I'm going to get some points and my insurance is going up. I just started dancing in the street. Y'all just don't know what I'm talking about. God knew it was going to happen. God fixed it for me. Y'all don't understand that. Candace just started laughing. She just started laughing and I just started dancing. Because he is faithful. It's just, and that song, God orchestrates everything. That was my mother's favorite song. And she sang it in this church and in an old church so many times. I just couldn't contain it. I just couldn't contain it. Because his eye has been on me. 2 wrecks in 5 days. And believe me, I haven't had a residual pain. I haven't had any soreness. I've had nothing but praises for the God that I have. I mean, that song just capped it off. I just couldn't cope it any longer. Because God has his eye on all of us. Amen. And he wants nothing but the best for us. Amen. And we shortcut our blessings when we are not faithful. And as Antonio said, even when we aren't faithful, he still gives us to us. But that's the kind of God he is. Now I'm going to see if I can bring what the Spirit told me to bring. The topic is darkness and light. Darkness and light. Our memory text was read to us, the most familiar text that any of us could ever have. In Genesis, I got to put these glasses back on now. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. A very familiar text. It was a part of our Sabbath school lesson this morning. We went over it extensively in Sabbath school. I wish you all would come to Sabbath school. We have such a good time. We want to share that with you all. We have such a good time in Sabbath school. Lord is good. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The emphasis that we used this morning was the fact that this narrative says, in the beginning, God. We understand that there's 3 parts of the Godhead. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. And they are unified. That means they think alike. That means they act as one. So in the beginning, God created. John chapter 1, verse 1, and on the way down to 14 tells us that God that created was Jesus. So it says, in the beginning, Jesus created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And what that other part of the Godhead, the Spirit of God, moved upon the face. Moved upon the face of the waters.
All right.
So we got the whole Godhead involved. God the Father, God the Son, and the Spirit.
Amen.
And God saw. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. Now we have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to like to hate darkness and like light. But I can tell you, God's darkness is good too. Do you ever remember when, if you haven't grown out of it, do you remember when you was young that you kind of a little bit afraid of the dark? After they read the story to you and walked out of the room, they turned off the light. Do you remember looking around with your eyes open trying to see what's going on in here? Do you remember either asking your parents for or begging to have a night light? Well, we've been conditioned to hate darkness and like light. As I said, some of us have now grown out of that. Some of us are still afraid of the dark. Because as the culture has developed, our movies and our sitcoms and just life has conditioned us that darkness is not good. But God can use darkness. We understand that there was darkness in this world. And God said, let there be light. You ever thought about where that light came from? The sun and the moon were not created till the fourth day. On the first day, God said, let there be light. Come on. Where'd that light come from? Some things you won't ever understand. Come on. Some things we won't ever understand. Right. But God can speak anything into existence. Yes, anything. I think he kind of gave us the sun and the moon for us because he didn't need light. Right. And he said, let there be light. So we've been conditioned to hate darkness or think that darkness is evil. But God can use the darkness. Darkness represents doubt and fear and bereavement. And we call a certain time in history the Dark Ages. And all these types of things. God is light. We got too many scriptures in the Word that tells us that He's light. John 9:5 says, while I was in the world, I am the light of the world. And there are many more scriptures like that. But we also got some scriptures that say that darkness is all right also. You remember on Mount Sinai, when Moses went up on the mountain, there was a cloud that caused it to be dark. And in Exodus chapter 20, right after the Ten Commandments were related to us, chapter 20, verse 21 says, the people stood afar off while Moses drew near to the thick darkness where God was. All right. That lets us know that God is everywhere. Amen. He's in the darkness and He is light. Yes. Sometimes the Lord God can be found in the darkness. Since He wants to save us, sometimes he allows the darkness to bring us to a place where we want the light. Amen. Where we seek the light. Where we long for the light. Yeah. Darkness is a mystery. God does have his secrets that we won't ever understand in this existence that we're in. But we learn to trust and accept rather than give ourselves up to fear. It is the darkness of trials that God is there too, so we need not be afraid to enter whatever difficulty lies before us. It is the darkness of desertion, there especially where we can share Gethsemane with our Lord. If you didn't remember or reflect on it, it was very dark on the Mount of Gethsemane. It was dark because it was night. It was dark because the Savior was going through something that he had committed to go through. That's right. But his humanity was causing him some doubt and some fear. Now we think that, and people have told us, well, Jesus was God, and so, but his humanity was what was happening on Gethsemane that night. He would not have said, let this cup, if it's possible that this cup pass from me, if it wasn't for the human side. The divine side wasn't talking there. It was the human side. It was dark, and it was a dark time in his life. He feared the future. And what he feared, that he would be eternally separated from his Father. So darkness represents fear. But Jesus' life, our Savior, represents life. Life and life. Amen. For millennia, man has tried to turn the darkness into light. For millennia. That's 1,000 years and thousands of years. No wonder during the winter festivals, in certain cultures, they have candles and lanterns and twinkling lights, festival, and all these kinds of things. Jesus' birth had come in a dark time in history also. Remember, he was supposed to be killed if he was under 5 years old, as a decree from Herod. But he was spared. But the acclamation on the night that he was born, the angels came in light. The angels came and brought light to the shepherds on the hills. The star represented the light that let us know that the Savior had come. So everything about God is light. But let us not forget that he can use the darkness to bring us to the light. Later on at the Simeon, when he was in the temple, he reminded those that were there in Luke chapter 2, verses 30 and 30 through 32. Mine eyes have seen thy salvation, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, for the glory of thy people Israel. Too often we see the future as night, assuming that the present time is better because it's day. That's just us. We fear, when we fear anything, we are equated with being night or darkness. And we have feared in this country ever since November the 8th. And we perceived that 2017 was going to be darkness. Y'all keep that political stuff to yourself now. I don't want to hear it. But too often we see the future as night, assuming that the present is better because it's day and we can see what's going on. The suffering job anticipation, a trip to another land, all of that's associated with darkness. Even Job in chapter 10, verse 22, and we just finished talking about Job. Let's go to Job chapter 10, verse 22, and see what Job said here as he was going through his dark time. Job in chapter 10, verse 22 says, I'm going to go back up to chapter 21. Before I go whence I shall not return. He even thought that he was going to die and not go and not return. Before I go whence and shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and as a shadow of death, without any order, and where light is as darkness. Now we just spent a whole quarter studying Job, and we talked about his faithfulness and his steadfastness and all that, but even Job felt fear and darkness coming in his life. He had just got through saying, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. And all these other things. But we find out, I'm sorry about that. We find out that Job had his dark period. And as Christians, we will have our dark periods possibly. But we need to lay hold upon the hope and reverse the sequence. Let us then cast off the works of darkness and put on what? The armor of light. Let us conduct ourselves becomingly as in the day. That's Romans chapter 13, verse 12. As Christians, we should have a different perspective on this light and darkness thing. God can use the darkness to bring us to the light, but we don't stay in the darkness. Don't think that Christians are immune to depression. They're not. Job got depressed. Don't think that you're oblivious to it and you can't get that condition. You can be depressed. But as a Christian, you shouldn't stay there. As a Christian, you should move on out. Because remember, people are watching you. And we don't want to give God's name as a Christian, give God a bad reputation. If we say we're Christians following Christ, then we can't stay there. We may go there, but we can't stay there. There, those who have accepted salvation walk forever in the light. Indeed, no darkness anywhere can overcome them. And David said in Psalms 27, verse 1, the Lord is what? My light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Unfortunately, we have become accustomed to the earth's night. Often exhausted with work and stress, we welcome the rest of night. Even as the aged and the terminally ill finally accept the dark rest and death itself. We don't like darkness, but sometimes we're glad for it. Because as human beings, we were not created to work during the night and sleep during the daytime. That's not our physiology. God designed the dark part of the day for us to rest and be rejuvenated. Many of us do it oppositely. Some of us work night shifts and all these other things. But instead, as I say, we need to flip the script. John the Revelator referentially described death in Revelation chapter 21, verses 11 and 25. Glory be to God. Let me read it. Verse 11 says, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even the jasper stone, clear as crystal. Verse 25 says, and the gates of it, meaning heaven, shall not be shut by day shall not shed all by day, for there shall be no night there. I go back to what I said in the beginning. God said, let there be light. He didn't need light. When we get to heaven, there'll be no night. Come on. So as we go through our trying midnight experience, as we go through these trying times, we need to make sure that we allow the Holy Spirit that uses darkness to bring us into light to do His perfect work. I'm going to ask that we sing a song that the Spirit also brought to my heart. Jesus, the light of the world. As we bring an end to this particular subject of light, darkness, and light. I had to go find it because it's not in our book, it's not in our hymnals, but I had to go find it on the internet. If you're familiar with it, let's sing it together. They passed out a few copies of it. Everybody, some people have a copy of it there. We're going to sing first, second, and fourth stanzas of Jesus, the light of the world. There's some awesome verses here in this first song. All these saints of light proclaim Jesus, the light of the world. Life and mercy in His name. Jesus, the light of the world. Walk in the light, you live your life. Somewhere the dewdrops and mercies are bright. Shine all around me by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. Number 2. Hear the Savior earnest call. Jesus, the light of the world. Send the gospel truth to all. Jesus, the light of the world. He'll walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where dewdrops of mercy are bright. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. Oh, stand. Confess. Jesus, the light of the world. When the bells of heaven will ring. Jesus, the light of the world. We'll walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. And then again. Walk in the light, beautiful light. Now where dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. If you want to walk in the light, that beautiful light, then I admonish you to try Him.
Amen.
And not just try Him, but trust Him.
Amen.
Because these times we're living in are dark. And they're going to get darker. And those that don't know anything about the light are going to be looking to you to help them into the light. Between Sabbath school and church, Pastor Parkinson, Elder Parkinson made an appeal to those that were here at the time to get involved in witnessing for the Lord. That admonition in Matthew 28 was not for a few. It was for all of us. We are to teach, preach, and baptize and make disciples. That's a universal call. I don't care whether you have an office or don't have an office. And if you want to start and if you want to stay in the light and continue to work and help others to come to the light, let's make a commitment here at this beginning of this year that we're going to. We've been talking about commitments during the tithe and offering, and Elder Parkinson asked us to make a commitment. But we need to ask God to help us to be all we can be. Amen. The pastor gave us the theme for this year, and greater is our theme. Greater, better, more. So if we want to be greater, if we want to be more faithful to God, and let's not just walk in the light, but let us live the light.
Amen.
If that's your dedication, if that's your personal dedication or public dedication this morning, stand with me as we pray and ask the Lord to help us to be lights. Because this church is not what this church is what we come to worship, but the light has got to radiate from this church. And it can only radiate from this church as we become the beams of that light and make it happen.